Hello everyone! Today, I'm excited to share the heartwarming story of Hannah and Ivy, the twin daughters of Henry and Lytuky, as they take their very first steps. Join us and witness the adorable, touching journey of these little angels learning to walk and explore the world. This story follows twin girls, Hannah and Ivy, the daughters of Henry and Lytuky, as they take their first uncertain yet loving steps. From wobbly attempts at standing to countless tumbles, the twins are always met with encouragement, care, and gentle support from their parents, Henry and Lytuky. Gradually, their tentative steps grow steadier, and the house fills with their laughter and joy. Hannah loves running and jumping with bold enthusiasm, while Ivy is quieter and more observant, carefully discovering the world around her. Through every moment, Henry and Lytuky are not only loving parents but patient companions, helping their daughters grow stronger and more confident day by day. This heartwarming tale highlights family love, patience, and the beautiful journey of childhood growth. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. Twin girls Hannah and Ivy were the sweet fruit of love between Henry and Lytuky, a love that was quiet and peaceful, yet deep and unwavering. From the very first cry of their newborn daughters, their home, once calm and orderly, became filled with laughter, light, and the chaos of happiness. The giggles, the babbles, the sleepless nights spent beside their soft breathing, each moment became a treasured memory that no material thing could ever replace. From birth, Hannah and Ivy were nurtured in the warm embrace of love, surrounded by both material comfort and emotional care. Every meal, every nap, every diaper change was a gesture of tenderness. Henry often joked, "I learned to change diapers faster than I type," making Lytuky chuckle despite her sleep-deprived eyes. Exhausted as they were, they never once complained, because watching their daughters grow day by day brought a joy that outweighed all fatigue. As the twins approached their 10-month milestone, Henry and Lytuky began noticing subtle changes. The girls' chubby legs began to kick with more strength, and their tiny hands reached up to grip the crib rails, the edge of the sofa, or anything within reach. The coos and squeals mingled with panting breaths as they tried to lift themselves, signs that their world was about to expand beyond what their arms could carry. Lytuky found herself choking up with emotion, realizing her little girls no longer wanted to simply lie safely in her arms. They were ready to explore the world with their own 2 feet. One quiet weekend morning, with sunlight streaming gently through the window, Ivy suddenly pulled herself up, hands gripping the edge of the coffee table, her legs wobbling like jelly. Henry instinctively stepped forward to help, but Lytuky held him back gently, whispering, "Let her try, just this once." And so, they both stood in silence, watching every tiny movement like it was magic, afraid even a whisper might break the moment. After a brief pause, Ivy cautiously lifted one foot and placed it down clumsily, yet with unmistakable determination. Barely 2 seconds passed before she plopped down onto the floor, eyes wide with surprise. But she didn't cry. Instead, there was the sound of Henry clapping and Lytuky softly exclaiming with joy, "Good job, Ivy! You did it!" From that moment, the days that followed were full of tiny triumphs. Hannah soon followed her sister's lead, staggering, swaying, but always getting back up. Every time one of them stood upright or took a shaky step, the whole family erupted in cheers and laughter. Henry documented it all on his phone, no filters, no edits, yet those simple clips were more beautiful than any cinematic production, because they captured something infinitely more precious, the beginning of a journey. Each evening, under the soft golden glow of the living room light, Lytuky would recount the day's progress as if telling a fairy tale written just for their family. And, as always, Henry would gather all three girls into his arms, soaking in a kind of happiness so pure and deep he had never imagined before fatherhood. The first wobbly steps of Hannah and Ivy were more than just milestones in their development. They marked a turning point in Henry and Lytuky's journey as parents. Love, patience, and hope were poured into every shaky stride. These were not just steps, they were the beginning of everything. After those very first wobbly steps, Henry and Lytuky's cozy home quickly turned into a true playground. Every corner, every chair, every rug became part of the journey for little Hannah and Ivy as they toddled and teetered like tiny birds testing their wings. But of course, that journey wasn't made of laughter alone, it was woven with tears, little bruises, and countless tumbles. Hannah was the braver of the two. She loved climbing and exploring anything just above her eye level. Often, she tried pulling herself up on a chair or table, only to fall backward with a surprised look in her round eyes, as if asking, "What just happened?" Ivy, in contrast, was more cautious and gentle, but that didn't save her from the occasional slip, bumping her head lightly on the edge of the mattress or sliding down on the wooden floor. Each fall was followed by a sharp cry, echoing through the house and causing everyone to pause. But the beauty of it all was in how Henry and Lytuky chose to respond to those stumbles. They didn't rush in, panicked or overprotective. Instead, they remained calm, crouched down to the children's eye level, opened their arms, and smiled. "It's okay, sweetheart. Let's try again." Their soft encouragements, gentle pats on the back, and loving, reassuring gazes became a quiet force behind every recovery. Over time, the girls began to understand. Falling wasn't something to fear, it was just part of growing up. Henry was always the enthusiastic cheerleader. Whether he was working on his laptop or tidying up in the kitchen, if he saw one of the girls getting up after a fall, he'd clap and cheer like they'd just won a medal. Lytuky, with her more nurturing style, would hum a lullaby, or gently blow on their scraped knees as if it were a magical cure for all pain. Gradually, the crying after each tumble became less frequent. In its place came surprised little gasps, and then, wonderfully, laughter. The girls began to giggle after falling, especially when they managed to get up again on their own. One day, Ivy fell but didn't cry. Instead, she clapped for herself and looked to her sister, waiting for a reaction. Hannah crawled over, gave her a proud high five, and the two burst into peals of laughter. Watching this, Henry was stunned. He turned to his wife, his voice hushed with emotion. "I've never seen anything more beautiful." The house was now constantly filled with the sound of tiny footsteps, excited squeals, and laughter as clear as wind chimes. Whenever the girls toddled across the wooden floor together, they were accompanied by the applause of their parents and the soft whir of a little camera that captured it all. Every stumble and every determined rise became a story to share in the quiet of the evening. Under the soft glow of the night lamp, the family would gather on the bed as Henry recounted the day's adventures. Today Hannah fell 4 times, and got back up 4 times. Ivy only fell twice, but she even laughed at herself. Under their parents' watchful and loving eyes, the tiny bruises on their knees were no longer a worry, but badges of courage. Each tear, each small cry, transformed into bright laughter and treasured memories. And someday, when they're older, Hannah and Ivy will know this. That day, they learned something big, that falling isn't something to fear, as long as you know how to get back up. By the time Hannah and Ivy reached 14 months old, they were confidently walking around the house without needing any support. Their steps were no longer tentative or shaky, although still a bit unsteady at times. Each stride was firmer, more deliberate. The quiet, cozy home of Henry and Lytuky blossomed into a lively playground, filled with the soft patter of tiny feet that sounded like a cheerful melody echoing through every room. Their laughter, bright and pure, spread joy and warmth to every corner, transforming the house into a sanctuary of happiness. Every day brought new adventures as the 2 little girls explored more and more of their surroundings. From the wooden table in the living room, to the small cabinet in the kitchen, and even down the long hallway, places that had once seemed ordinary were now magical landscapes waiting to be discovered. Often, they would hold hands and toddle side by side, chatting in their own secret language, understood only by young hearts full of curiosity and wonder. Walking was no longer a challenge or a struggle. It had become a source of delight and freedom, a way to touch and understand the vast world around them. Hannah, the more spirited of the 2, loved to run and jump, even if she was still a little clumsy and prone to losing her balance. Each time she dashed across the room, she sometimes tumbled, but instead of crying, she would burst into giggles and quickly get back up to continue playing. Ivy, on the other hand, was calmer and more thoughtful. She preferred to walk slowly and carefully, taking time to observe every detail around her. Occasionally, she would pause, turn to look at her sister with affection and a smile, as if sharing a tiny secret, before continuing on her way. Henry and Lytuky often found themselves watching their daughters with a mix of pride and wonder. They could see how, day by day, the girls grew not only stronger physically but also more emotionally mature. The laughter that followed every fall, the knowing glances they exchanged to encourage each other, and the tight hand-holding when they faced little obstacles, these moments wove together a vivid tapestry of love, resilience, and family bonds. One bright Sunday afternoon, Henry proposed a little running race in the living room. Instantly, the girls' eyes sparkled with excitement and playful competitiveness. Henry stood at the finish line, arms open wide, cheering loudly, while Lytuky stood nearby, snapping photos and laughing with delight. Hannah shot off like a little whirlwind, Ivy close behind, the 2 nearly colliding in their joyous sprint. The race wasn't about winning or losing, it was a precious moment of connection and fun, a memory of childhood to be cherished forever. As the days passed, the girls' confidence grew. They began to climb on low furniture, balance on steps, and even dance to the music playing softly in the background. Their feet might still falter, but their hearts were full of courage and determination. Each step was a small victory, a sign of progress that brought endless smiles and quiet tears of joy to their parents. In the evenings, after a day filled with exploration and play, the girls would snuggle close to their parents, resting their little heads in the warmth of loving arms. Henry often told fairy tales or simply recounted the day's milestones, reminding them of the strength in their tiny legs and the bravery in their hearts. Lytuky would gently stroke their hair, singing lullabies with sweet melodies that soothed them into peaceful sleep. This journey was far more than a physical milestone, it was a path of growth, connection, and love. Henry and Lytuky knew that each steady step their daughters took not only marked their development but also symbolized the unwavering patience, hope, and affection that filled their family. They understood that many challenges still awaited, but now, standing beside these two little girls were firm feet and brave hearts ready to face whatever came next. And each awkward, unsteady step was just the beginning, the first footprints on a lifelong path filled with happiness, discovery, and love. This story follows the journey of two twin girls, Hannah and Ivy, the daughters of Henry and Lytuky, as they take their very first steps. From their earliest days of toddling, the little girls faced many challenges, including frequent falls and cries. However, they were always met with loving care and encouragement from their parents. Henry and Lytuky were not only caregivers but also patient companions, standing by their daughters to support and motivate them whenever they stumbled. Gradually, with their parents' endless love and care, Hannah and Ivy became steadier on their tiny feet. Hannah loved running and exploring the world with strength and innocence, while Ivy had a quieter personality, carefully observing everything around her. The home of Henry and Lytuky was filled with laughter, joy, and happiness as their little angels grew day by day. This story is a beautiful testament to family love, patience, and the power of affection in the journey of every child's growth.